I'm Dutch, and let's react to the Americans. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Johan, and I'm a typical Dutchman. And if you're planning to come over to Europe for your holidays, or maybe to live here permanently, or if you're wondering why is everything so expensive in the United States in comparison with Europe, then you are at the right channel. Because in this channel I look at and react to videos about life and living in America versus life and living in Europe or the Netherlands, and of course the cost of. And for today we're going to take a look at a video from Livey. We're going to start with a subscribe and a like, and then his video is about the truth about Dutch people, Dutch stereotypes explained, Netherlands, culture, language, etc. So the Netherlands versus the United States. Let's hear him out, what he has to say about me and my people. Not specifically me, but about the Netherlands and the people in this beautiful country. And if you like the video, then it would be really appreciated if you press the like and subscribe to the channel. It would really help the channel grow. So if you have a good feeling about the channel, then please press subscribe. And now let's take a look at this video and what this young man has to say. I don't know his age, but he's not an old man. He's definitely a young man, but oh.
Things they would not do for you, and they're amazing people. I miss their culture a lot. When I first came back from my mission, American culture was difficult because I'd go up to buy something and the cashier would be like, "Hey, how's your day?" And I'd be like, "Whoa, calm down, I've got the money, what do you want?" But that's because I know that when my Dutch friends say, "Hey, how's your day?" what they're really asking is how are you? What can I do for you? Are you okay? If your life's going well, I want to hear about it.
Yeah, and if it isn't going well, then let us know, let your friends know. Maybe we can help. We can pitch in, do something to make your life better. Yeah.
And that's so cool. It's amazing. They are amazing people, and I love them.
Thank you.
Dutch culture is different. It is very different from American culture, but they appreciate positive, genuine interaction the same way American people do. And in a lot of ways, I prefer their culture. A couple things to be aware of. The Dutch are extremely down to earth and very practical, extremely practical. So walking up to someone and saying, "Hey, how are you doing?" is weird to them.
Yeah. What? Who are you? If I will not say that, but we will give a polite answer of thank you, if I'm doing fine, and I will walk on.
them, because they know you don't care, and they know that information means nothing to you. And so some people, depending on how American you're acting, will realize that you're an American and just roll with it. For some people, they find it mildly offensive because you're trying to pry into their life for no reason.
In that perspective, yeah.
Often you just have to adapt to not asking people, "How are you doing?" or "How's it going?" Once you get to know people, then that's a question that shows that you care. Like if you ask, "How are you doing?" expect them to tell you how they're doing. If life is hard, they're going to tell you, life is hard right now. It's been a rough couple weeks. Or if life's going well, they'll say, life is going great. Let me tell you why. With the assumption being that you care and that you're actually going to take what they say and do something with it. Either use it in the conversation or find out how you can help them, or just they don't tell you things that you don't need to know.
Yeah, in a relationship, if we are colleagues or if we are neighbors or if we are friends at a sport club, so yeah, just on the street, for someone we don't know, it won't. Yeah.
They're very blunt as well. If your Dutch is bad, sometimes you'll be like, I'm sorry, my Dutch is bad. And they'll be like, yeah, it is bad. Here are some ideas for how you can improve.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that your Dutch is bad. Yeah, if he's trying to talk in Dutch, yeah, he's right. If somebody tries to talk in Dutch to me, yeah, then I will also try to improve how you can improve something. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean they hate you. That doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you're the worst Dutch speaker that's ever lived. It means that, yeah, your Dutch is bad. You said it, they said it. Okay, it's an established fact. Whether or not they said it, it was still there. But they're going to try and help you. They're going to give you some feedback, and they're going to say, okay, here's what you can improve. Here are some things you can look at. If you just remember that the Dutch are blunt and down to earth, nuchter is the word they use for it.
Oh, he speaks Dutch, some Dutch words, or he actually speaks Dutch. I don't know for sure, but nuchter, yeah, stay cool.
Which translates more to like sober or solemn, but it's really just like hyper practical. If you remember that, that'll just help. That'll just make the transition so much easier. More than anything else anyone could have told me, if they had just been like, the Dutch are super blunt and super down to earth, like unbelievably down to earth, then I would have been like, oh, and things would have made sense a lot faster.
Okay. And now you know, watching my channel.
The Netherlands, a 1-hour train ride will pull you into a totally different culture, a different dialect, a different way of going about things. Each little town, each city tends to have their own way of doing things and their own dialect of Dutch, and their own expectations. And they're not going to waste your time. It's a country full of good people. They just might not conform to the same ideas that we have about how things should work.
Okay. Thank you for the compliment, but I don't know what he's meaning with the other ones.
A lot of people see religion as a very private thing over there. They think that a relationship with God is a very private affair between them and God as they understand him. And even though they might be very religious, they're not necessarily willing to share that with you.
Did he say that some of us, depending in which area of the Netherlands you are religious? I will not say very religious, but are religious. But most of us are atheists because we are so down to earth. We stick to what we know and the facts that they are. And of course, we have religious people as we have everywhere in the world. But yeah, we're not all religious. Most of us are atheists.
Dutch people begin to recognize.
Or we are religious somehow, but not practice our religion. That's also a lot of people.
Recognize that something is true. That changes everything for them. Once the Dutch know it's true, they go. And they do believe in miracles. They believe in signs. The God that they have in their minds is a God who uses everyday things to communicate with them. And that's so cool. He's a very personal God to them. And that's beautiful. I wish I had that more in my life, to be honest. Don't try to logic your way into their head either. One time me and my companion were knocking doors. And we went along one side of a street, and our goal was to find that question that would get these logical, sober Dutch people to open up and realize we had something important, kind of something to break the nut, and so that the light could shine through. And it was miserable. It was awful. It was one of the worst streets I've ever knocked.
He lost me there. I don't know what he's talking about. Going on door by door, knocking on something for some, I don't know.
It was terrible. It was flat out terrible. So we went up the other side of the street, and we remembered something that one of our leaders had said about loving people, just showing love for people, whether or not they were interested in our message. And so we decided to try that instead because the other idea wasn't working at all. And as soon as we started looking for ways to love the people we were talking to, even while they were telling us how wrong we were, oh man, it was so much better. The one side of the street was the worst street I've ever knocked. The other side was the best side I've ever knocked. Did we get anything out of it? No. No.
No. Okay, if we tried, and I get the sense that this was the meaning of it. If we try to bring religion to someone's home, we will say, and we will discuss, but we won't accept.
We didn't get a single appointment out of that.
Yeah.
But it was great, and it was wonderful. And I still remember one of those people we talked to. I don't remember what he said. I don't remember his name. I just remember that I came away with the ability to love him. And that made all the difference. And I think that's the secret to every mission, but especially the Netherlands, is learn to love them. Learn to accept the things that they do and love them for it.
Okay. Compliment taken.
And it will surprise them, and it will shock them. It might make them a little standoffish for a little while they try and figure out what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah, he's right.
But at the end, they'll love you too. The Dutch language is really cool. I think it's one of the coolest languages out there personally. It's
But the hardest one to learn.
really hard to learn, but not because the language itself is particularly hard. It's just structured differently and it works differently. And words don't have the same meaning, but sometimes they sound the same. And sometimes it can be a little confusing, but it's also very intuitive and I really enjoy it. A couple things to know about Dutch. Dutch is a phonetic language. Everything, except for words that they've taken from other languages, everything is written the way it's pronounced. If you learn pronunciation and you learn their spelling rules, you can spell a word by hearing someone say it. And that can be really handy if you're asking for directions and someone is like, oh, turn left on this street. And you're like, oh, okay, I know the name of the street because I heard someone say it. And you can spell it in your mind just from hearing someone say a word.
Yeah, okay, because I was thinking about what is he meaning, what is his, yeah, what does he mean about that? Well, okay, yeah, he's right.
This also means that you can pick out where your pronunciation is poor, because they have very defined vowel sounds. I think someone told me they have 16 different vowel sounds, and they just use those in combinations or different ways, and then that constitutes all of their vowel sounds. You can tell where your pronunciation is falling short. For instance, I don't differentiate between my A and my AA sounds. And that's a shortcoming. That's
an A and a double A, yeah, an O and a double O, an E and a double E, yeah.
That's a failure. That's something that makes me sound American, or at least English speaking, because I don't have a clear distinction between the A and the AA sound. Dutch is halfway between German and English. It's closer to German than English is, and it's closer to English than German is. The rules in Dutch.
Yeah, because it's a Germanic language. So.
The grammar in Dutch is extremely important. In English, we tend to follow grammar rules. Sometimes we butcher them a little bit, but whatever, as long as the meaning's there, and whatever, you know. In Dutch, the grammar makes the meaning. You use the grammar if you want to make sense. Like I said earlier, they'll understand if you use American grammar. They'll get it. But if you want to speak good Dutch, you have to learn the grammar and you have to learn the rules. They're simple rules that are hard to apply and that have shades of meaning, which is a lot of fun. And the basic sentence structure is very easy. It's subject, verb, object, other things. So the verb always goes second. And then all other verbs go at the very, very end, which is fun. But if you're posing a question, the verb goes first. Often you can tell if someone is asking a question by the grammar rather than by the inflection. The more familiar you become with grammar, the easier it becomes to understand. And the easier it becomes to understand, the better your own pronunciation will become, because you'll begin paying attention to how they're saying what they're saying.
All right, that's from the other side. I do not know.
Rather than trying to figure out what they're saying. Dutch does have a guttural in it. It has a guttural G. So instead of G, it makes a sound. So like Den Haag, H-A-A-G.
Yeah, in Den Haag, they do this, in Rotterdam. But down south, we have a soft G, as they call it. Yeah, and that's why we from the south are more recognizable when we are up in the north, in Den Haag. Yeah, we from South Limburg, we are, yeah, you can hear that we are from Limburg.
Den Haag, or Groningen, G-R-O-N-I-N-G-E-N. Make sure I spell that right. Groningen. It doesn't have to be hyper pronounced. A lot of new missionaries come out with a really G. That's very North Hollands, and it's not necessarily recommended practice. The G ranges from really, really hard in the north to really, really soft, just like a hard H, just in the south,
Yeah.
in Belgium specifically. So just get to the point where it doesn't ruin your throat anymore to make some kind of sound. And once it's comfortable for you, just stick with that. You don't have to be coughing up your lungs every time you're saying a guttural G. In fact, it gets really annoying really fast if a greenie comes out and is like, and you're just like, oh, come on. A couple things to be aware of that can be trippy. They roll their R's. And I've been told by Dutch people that if you don't have some kind of roll to your R, it's very hard for the Dutch to hear the R. I'm not very good at that. I tend to use kind of a...
If there's not a rolling R, it's hard to understand that you're using that. Do we? I don't know. I have to speak with a Dutch teacher about that.
Fake, kind of a fake stop in the middle of my R, and it just sounds kind of goofy. But if you know how to roll your R, it doesn't matter if it's in the front of your mouth or in the back, but just a very slight roll on most R's will make you much more understandable. They have diphthongs, which are vowels that start making one sound and end making a different sound. And those are usually extremely difficult for people to handle. The one I really struggled with was their EU sound, which is O. O. And that's not even a particularly well pronounced EU, but that's
an O, yeah. EU, an O. A house, we say house.
How I got through it. To quote Hermione Granger, where she says, "It's Wingardium Leviosa, not Wingardium Leviosa." And that Wingardium Levio, oh, that's the diphthong. That's the sound you want to make. Wingardium Leviosa. And then you just have to learn to plunk it into any word wherever, which I'm still not particularly good at. It took me the majority of my time in Leuven to get to the point where I could say Leuven.
Oh, Leuven. Yeah, but it's Belgium. Yeah.
But the Dutch just bust it out like it's no big deal, which is pretty amazing. It's a beautiful language. A lot of what they do is really, really fun once you start learning it, because to make new words, they'll just mash existing words together. A platypus in Dutch is een vogelbeekdier. I mispronounced that, sorry. Vogelbeekdier. Beck and bake are different.
Oh yeah, vogelbeekdier.
A vogelbeekdier translates to bird beak animal, which is a platypus. So it's super fun. There are a couple of cities with...
Yeah, but you should try Germany. Some German words are compounds of 6 or 7 words.
names that actually mean things, like Den Helder is like of the glory, of the light, of the clarity. Den Haag is actually a contraction of, what is it, Schravenhaag, I think is what it is.
Originally Schravenhagen, yeah.
Which is like the grave downs, if I remember correctly, or the burial place downs. Or Den Bosch is Sertogenbosch, which I don't remember what that one means, but it's something like...
It's a duke. It's Sertogenbosch. So it's a hertog. And I believe that the right translation into English is a duke.
Like the forest of something something. So it's a fun language once you begin.
The dukes. Yeah, okay. If he Sertogenbosch, it's the duke's forest. Yeah, it's duke's forest. Sertogenbosch. Roughly translated.
Learning words and how they put words together. It just gets fun. And often, if you don't know a word, you can say the English word, but with Dutch pronunciation, and that'll be either close enough that they'll understand, or that'll be the word you're looking for. It's just nice. It doesn't always work. There are a lot of times it won't work, but like I said, they're fluent in English, so they'll get what you're talking about. They borrow words all the time. The internet over there is just internet. Google is just Google. iPhone is just iPhone. Sometimes you get silly words like their old people tend to ride around on these little motorized, like little, I don't even know.
Okay. Scooters. Small electric scooters. I think that he's looking for.
They're kind of like those things people here go shopping with in the supermarket, where it has the basket on the front and they just sit in that chair and like and drive around the supermarket. Except old people there like ride those around like for reals. Like it's a serious thing. And those are just called scootmobiles.
Yeah, scootmobiles. Yeah, scooters or scootmobiles. Yeah.
It's a scootmobile. I'm just gonna hop on my scootmobile and scoot around. So kind of fun. Verbs are easy to learn and they're fun to learn. Verbs always follow the same conjugation pattern. There are very few verbs that don't. To read is lezen, L-E-Z-E-N. To conjugate, you just cut off the en. So ik lees, I read. Hij leest, he reads. Zij leest, she reads. Het leest, it reads. And then, easiest part of all, if you're using a plural subject, so wij or we, jullie, plural you, zij, them.
Yeah, that's typical in the English language. While I was still trying to learn Italian, is you and you plural. That's hard to use in different languages. To learn a different language that's based on English. Yeah, you plural versus you. We have jij and jullie.
Hij and zij, he and she. Then you just say the verb. You don't do anything to it. Wij lezen, jullie lezen, zij lezen. Hij and zij zijn aan het lezen. I mean, you just use a verb. So that's fun. It's easy to learn verbs and use them correctly. It's always just stem T. The meeste van mijn...
Yeah, for the regular ones. There are also irregular verbs. Yeah, that's something difficult.
Beste vrienden in de wereld zijn momenteel op zending. Ik weet dat jullie geen gelegenheid zullen hebben om dit te zien, maar ik hou van jullie. Ik ben...
Oh, he's out on... Okay, so it's some kind of a missionary? Okay. He was talking in Dutch. I'm going to try it again.
Just use zij lezen. So that's fun. It's easy to learn verbs and use them correctly. It's always just stem T. De meeste van mijn beste vrienden in de wereld zijn momenteel op zending. Ik weet dat jullie geen gelegenheid zullen hebben om dit te zien, maar ik hou van jullie. Ik ben...
Yeah. Correct sentences, correct words, pronunciation, yeah, but hardly with an accent. It's good. It's good Dutch that he's talking here.
En zo heel erg dankbaar voor de gelegenheid die ik gehad heb om jullie te leren kennen.
Wow. He's getting emotional about it. Thank you.
Jullie zijn bijzondere mensen.
He's still talking in Dutch and he's still making sense, but this is a real compliment to the people he was working with and about our nation. Thank you. Thank you very much.
En jullie brengen een bijzondere geest mee. En ik ben dankbaar voor jullie gewilligheid om hard te werken. Voor mensen die meestal niet erkennen hoe belangrijk wat jullie hebben is. Ik ben dankbaar voor de lessen dat ik van jullie geleerd heb. Ik denk aan jullie bijna dagelijks. En ik mis jullie. Ik mis jullie allemaal.
I don't know how long he's been here in the Netherlands, but he's speaking Dutch very well for someone who is, I don't know if he was over here for half a year or a year, because a lot of people don't speak as well Dutch as he did after half a year or a year being in the Netherlands. So he's really trying and did have a good teacher in Dutch. It's really amazing.
Ik weet dat zonder mijn vrienden op zending, was mijn zending voor mij niet mogelijk om vol te brengen. Dat was gewoon, zonder jullie was dat niet mogelijk voor mij. En ik hoop.
I don't know if he's translating it. Can I take translation with it? So our American viewers, yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to find. Oh, the translation is a mess. This is not even for the English-speaking people who are watching this video. This is not even English. Oh, YouTube has a lot of problems translating Dutch into something, because California is not a word that he did. Oh, I want to see how YouTube translates this. Maybe I can translate it directly.
That's fun. It's easy to learn verbs and use them correctly. It's always just stem T. De meeste van mijn beste vrienden in de wereld zijn momenteel op zending.
Wow. The most of my friends are now on mission in the world.
Ik weet dat jullie geen gelegenheid zullen hebben om dit te zien, maar
I know you don't have the opportunity to see my interpretation, this video, but you don't have the opportunity to see this video.
Ik hou van jullie.
But I love you all.
Ik ben zo heel erg dankbaar voor de gelegenheid die ik gehad heb.
I am very grateful for the opportunity that I had
om jullie te leren kennen.
To learn, to meet you. Yeah.
Jullie zijn bijzondere mensen.
Bijzonder. Special. Yeah, you are special people.
En jullie brengen een bijzondere geest mee.
And you bring along a special ghost, but that's not correct. Spirit, yes, the right word. Bringing along a special spirit.
En ik ben dankbaar voor jullie gewilligheid om hard te werken.
I am grateful for your willingness to do hard work.
Voor mensen die meestal niet erkennen hoe belangrijk wat jullie hebben is.
For people, just doing this for people that usually don't realize how hard it is.
Ik ben dankbaar voor de lessen dat ik van jullie geleerd heb.
I'm grateful for the lessons that I've learned from you.
Ik denk aan jullie bijna dagelijks.
I'm thinking of you almost every day,
En ik mis jullie.
and I'm missing you all.
Ik mis jullie allemaal. Ik weet dat zonder mijn vrienden op zending, was mijn zending voor mij niet mogelijk om vol te brengen.
I know that without my friends on a mission, it would be impossible to prepare myself for a mission.
Dat was gewoon, zonder jullie was dat niet mogelijk voor mij.
Without your help, it wouldn't be possible for me.
En ik hoop dat ik in de toekomst jullie weer mogen zien.
And I hope that I will see you again in the future, or that in the future I will see you again. That's the way it actually said in the Netherlands. So,
En ik ben dankbaar voor jullie geduld.
I'm grateful for your patience. Okay.
Van mijn zending was een groeiproces voor mij. Het was een grote groeiproces.
It was a big, learning curve, growing process. Yeah, growing process would be the better word.
Er was geen moment op zending waar ik niet onder heel veel druk was.
There was not a moment in my missionary work that there wasn't a lot of pressure.
Want ik had heel veel slechte gewoontes en heel veel gewoon dingen die verbeterd moesten worden.
I had a lot of bad habits, a lot of stuff that had to be improved.
En de Heer heeft dat voor mij gedaan. Ja, grotendeels.
And did he say, here, the Lord?
En de Heer heeft dat voor mij gedaan.
Yeah, and the Lord did this for me.
Ja, grotendeels. Maar ik had jullie nodig als ondersteuning tijdens dat proces. En ik ben...
And he did this for me. He, as being God, has done this for me, but I needed you guys to help me with it.
zo dankbaar voor dat geduld.
And I'm very thankful for that patience.
Ik ben dankbaar voor Elder Hirsch. Elder Hirsch, in principe was het mijn verantwoordelijkheid om u te trainen. Maar eigenlijk denk ik dat het andersom was.
Hirsch, I don't know how he's meaning that, but it was his responsibility to train us, his friends, to train you guys, but in reality, you were training me.
Dat u daar was om mij te ondersteunen en te helpen tijdens een moeilijke periode opzending.
And that you were there to help me during my difficult period on my mission.
Elder Lindstrom, ik tel je nog steeds als mijn beste vriend.
That's someone's name, minister, but the translation said minister, but it's his.
Lindstrom,
Mistrum? Somebody's name. I don't know whose name it is, but yeah. He was being considered his best friend.
Ik tel je nog steeds als mijn beste vriend. En ik ben heel erg dankbaar daarvoor.
I'm very grateful for that.
Mr. Verdegem, ik mis de grapjes.
Mr. Then somebody's surname. It's not last name, it's surname. He misses his jokes.
Dus ik mis de gesprekken wat wij hadden.
I'm missing the conversations we had. I had a pig. Oh, wow.
Ik vond het altijd gezellig. En ik zal uw stad bezoeken een van deze dagen.
It was always gezellig. How to translate gezellig? Because it's hard to translate. It was always fun, and I will visit you again someday.
Wel, niet een van deze dagen in de toekomst. Zie, daar is mijn Amerikaanse accent. En al de anderen ook. Het werk is waar. Dat weet ik.
And all the others he will visit too. I will visit too. The work is hard.
Jullie. En geef het niet op. Want de mensen daar hebben jullie nodig. De Heer heeft jullie geroepen om dit werk te verspreiden, want Hij weet hoe belangrijk het is. En Hij ondersteunt jullie. Ik bid voor jullie. En ik voel dat bewustheid.
Okay.
Dat hij jullie indachtig is.
The Lord understands how important your work is, and I pray for you. I need to go back.
Dat bewustheid. Dat hij jullie indachtig is.
And the awareness that he is in your mind.
Keer. Dus geef het nooit op.
Don't give up.
Hij regelt alles voor
He will arrange everything for you.
jullie goed. Ik hou van jullie.
I love you all. Ik hou van jullie. I love you all. And that's translated in California Lee.
Ik zeg deze dingen in de naam van Jezus Christus. Amen.
I say this in the name of Jesus Christ, the Lord. Yeah. Amen. Wow. Good video. Different turn than I expected. I will turn off the bad translation into English. I hope my translation is a bit better. But this was the truth about Dutch people and Dutch stereotypes explained by someone who was in our country and in Belgium, because he was talking about Leuven also, for some time. I don't know how long, but for quite some time, as a missionary doing the Lord's work. And with all respect, I'm an atheist, so yeah. Wow. Wow. Good. I hope you liked the video. If you did, then maybe you like this video too. And otherwise, would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.